I mean, since high school, I knew healthcare is kind of where I wanted to be. Just I never really knew the avenue.
I like helping people.
Yeah.
I like helping people a lot. And that's part of my problem too.
You did, actually. That wasn't right. But I love you. I forgive you.
It's not as taboo as it used to be, but we still, our community still is like, we don't need that. We ain't crazy,
Right.
but we do need to heal. So kind of talk about that.
Truth in the air, let it speak.
I heard you say you were trialing these, so I don't want to mess nothing up. My owner.
If you break it, they'll send a new one. She has been watching. You heard that, Tay?
No, I didn't.
She said she heard that you was trialing those.
Yeah. These new.
So she know that Mono hooked you up with them mics. Mm-hmm. I said, break it. They'll send another one. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. So, and that's something I say too. I'm like, we haven't even been, we're coming up on a whole 1 year.
Oh, that's awesome.
But
yeah.
we were 6 months in, and then I got an email. I almost deleted it.
Oh, you like me? Click. Mm-hmm.
It looked like spam. I said, wait a minute. And the lady reached out to me about these mics. I was just like,
I'm trying to see. What's the kid? There was no kid.
No.
Just trying mine to see.
Hey,
They sound really good though.
She said one mic, and he was like, "Can I get two?"
I say to really showcase your microphones in the best light possible. I have guests, and I think it's great if my guest has one too. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll send you the dual kit. We'll send you the dual kit. And I thought it was going to be just the mics, but she sent the mic. There's a USB adapter that I can use these wirelessly with my phone.
Oh, shoot.
Or anything connected to Bluetooth. And then there's something else. Oh, then she sent like the tabletop stands. Okay, yeah, Shamar not using one today, but it's a whole kit. And I said,
it sounded really good though.
Thank you.
Everything was really nice.
Yeah, so shout out to Mono for these microphones again. So, Valeea, welcome to Creative Roots Podcast.
Thank you.
Welcome back to another episode, because I have no extra well, y'all know how it go. I ain't got nothing extra. Welcome back to another episode of Creative Roots Podcast, where seeds sown become visions grow. I am your host, Tay.
And I am Shamar, Tay's trusty sidekick. What's happening?
So, again, we are in the month of May. This is our Mental Health Awareness Month. I was about to say something smart, but I'm not going to do it. But I will say, we all have problems. Some more than others.
Yes.
I know I'm bad. I know I got some issues. We are sitting here. Wait. I'm going to go ahead and get it out the way. I would like to give a shout out to Allen Luck Studios.
I was waiting.
Shout out to Allen Luck Studios.
I would like to thank us.
Shout out to Charlotte Podcast Studio.
I would like to thank us.
And shout out to Art Box Charlotte.
I would like to thank us.
So, and then we're going to give another shout out to Mono, because Valeea says these mics sound real good.
They nice.
And we agree.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very clear.
So listen, I think she's ready. I'm ready. Y'all should be ready too. We are sitting here with Valeea. She is going to introduce herself, because I'm not butchering nothing. I've done that time and time again. So please introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are and what you do.
All right. So my name is Valeea Sutton. I am a dually certified family and psychiatric nurse practitioner. I am married almost 10 years in June, and I have a son who is 6 years old. I have a big heart for serving the underserved. I got into mental health about 4 years ago, but it's not new to me. I have some family members who have some chronic illnesses that of course allows the passion to be a little bit more louder, if you will. And so I'm that nurse practitioner who I want everybody to have some quality healthcare, right? And I just think there's a lot going on right now in healthcare where a lot of people are questioning it. And so I just always like to be that person of reason, because I am a provider. So I am able to kind of help, I just want to encourage people to, be an advocate, be their own advocate. And so, yeah, there's a lot in me when it comes down to community health and patient advocacy. And so, yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here because when I asked Natasha, I know you got some people. You were like one of the first two people.
Wow.
And then she responded back not long after she told me to call you. Mm-hmm. She says, she's already ready. I said, oh.
Shout out to Miss Natasha. I appreciate it. I love her.
Shout out to you, awesome. Tasha, because we greatly appreciate it. So you have all these things that you do. And you kind of already alluded to the first question. Mm-hmm. But what got you started with focusing on mental health?
So I started out in family practice. So like your primary care visits, right? Mm-hmm. And then I had some friends kind of say, let's go back to get our psych certification. I was like, all right, cool, let's go back. But one thing prior to this, it was like full circle. Prior to this, we lived in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And I remember opening up my car taxes. And I was like, for some reason, just read through it. I had a pretty new car at the time. And I was like, it was like $700. And I'm like, where is all this money going to? So I'm like reading through, and it was like the zoo got $11 of the $700. The library, the schools got like 200 something. Can you guess how much mental health received from the state, from me?
A whole $5. What you say?
I said I'm scared.
You guess. How much?
I'm gonna say 12.
You said 5.
I said 5.
$1.12.
Ooh. Duh.
$1.12.
So hold on, wait, hold on. Because I don't think y'all heard this. Yeah. I'm okay with the school system.
Yeah.
But you telling me
the zoo.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
The animals.
All the oohs and ahs.
The animals.
All the
wow.
Received
the zoo.
$10 more than a human.
Wow.
So I was disturbed, right? And again, I have a family member who suffers with some chronic mental illnesses. So we saw over time just how she wasn't receiving the care that she needed. But unfortunately, with mental health, it's hard to get them on board to receive certain help. Mm-hmm. So it's only, sometimes we have to watch from the sideline, and it's very hurtful. And thankfully now she's doing much better. But it was just more of a full circle, because then I was like, I saw it. I was like, oh, we need more help here. But it wasn't anything I jumped to go to school for. And so then fast forward years later, it was like, hey, y'all, let's go back. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just go because I do love school. I don't like doing school, but I love learning, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so went back and graduated back in 2021 from USC of Columbia with my post-mental health degree in, my post-master's degree in mental health. And so it's been a roller coaster since then, because now I'm in it. Mm-hmm. And I really see that the need is like crazy. And I can't save everybody. And it's we need a lot of us out there. But yeah, so that's how I got introduced to it. But it's not new to me. Like I've always done. I mean, since high school, I knew healthcare is kind of where I wanted to be. Just I never really knew the avenue. But yeah, I'll stop there.
You didn't know the actual space. You had the broad idea.
You want to help people, right? Like I just want to help people.
I just want to help people.
But like I never knew. I actually wanted to be a pediatrician. Crazy enough. Then I started Googling how long it would take me to go to school. It was too long at the time. However, fast forward today, I do not regret my nursing path at all. But I have also looked at, I'm like, maybe I'll go back to medical school. Like maybe. But in this season right now, it's just, I can't do that right now. However, if I had somebody in my corner years ago before, like once I finished nursing school to say, go ahead on, like I would have gone. Mm-hmm. So like I do encourage people, like if you feel like it's something you really want to do, just do it. Because I don't feel like I had the encouragement back then to like push me. Like I was fearful of the medical exam called the MCAT. I was fearful of taking it. Never saw a question on it, but it scared me.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, dang, if I just would have, but it's okay. I love being a nurse practitioner.
That extra,
Yeah. I'm biased, but we are awesome providers. A lot of people ask for the nurse practitioner. Mm-hmm. Because we have that nursing, it's innate, it's in us. So yeah.
All the way back to high school.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about going back to high school, with this broad statement, knowing that you want to help, did you see things outside of this family member that made you feel that way? Or is that just, because I know some people at a young age, they're extra helpful.
Yes.
And they don't intend to be in the way when they're trying to be extra helpful. It's just in them. So in high school, were there little things that made you really hone in on that, or it just happened?
Yeah. So no, I mean, everybody got family members that somebody's taking care of, right? So older grandparents, just kind of seeing, like my dad's mom, I remember at the time was kind of in and out of the hospital. And so just watching the nurses just be hands-on with them, and I'm like, sometimes you'll see bad experiences. You're like, I know that's not right. That's just not right. That don't. So I feel like I'm always like, I like to try to solve a problem. Right. And it's not fun all the time because like you see all these things that need to be done, which is why my brain is like on 10,000 sometimes, where I need to do this. I need to save this person. I need to open up something. So I've had to learn how to dial down because I can't save everybody. And that's a hard lesson because it's like you're trying to carry everybody's weight and you just can't do that. Mental health wise, a lot of people carry other people's things. And so as a business owner, like I just had to learn, like, Valeea, you cannot. But I will say that, if there's somebody out there that feels like there's something that needs to be addressed, then that may be a calling for you. But there's so much. I mean, there's so much to unpack with that in general. But long story short, yes, I saw it. I saw where it wasn't good. I saw where it was absolutely wonderful. And so I just was like, well, hey, might as well slide through. And then the high school classes helped. The exposure, they helped. Because I was like, oh, I really do like this. So, yeah.
I like helping people.
Yeah.
I like helping people a lot. And that's part of my problem too. Because like you said, you tend to carry everybody else's problems. And I had to get myself to a point where I can't keep carrying on your issues.
Boundaries.
You have to set boundaries. Yep. And sometimes those boundary lines are blurred. But you have to find that line again. I'm speaking for self, because, dealing with moderate to severe anxiety and depression, as a man, you don't know who to go to.
Exactly.
You don't have anybody that you can, I'm not going to say you don't, but for the most part, as a black man, you don't have anybody to go to, or at least that's how you feel, right. And I know you work with children as well. So when you think about grown men and you think about these kids, is there like a medium, like an average age that you see within the kids? And I'm saying kids is anybody that's 18 and below because you're still in high school. Do you see anything in that age range that speaks?
I will say there are a lot of children without both parents. So like right now at the residential facility that I work for, DSS custody, a lot of them do not have both parents. And not even necessarily birth, like some have neither, right? So I do see a lot of like that missing connection with adults. And so of course, growing up, that leads to just like, some personality challenges. Some people don't know how to deal with conflict because they never, or some are so overreactive to conflict because like now when you think about a DSS kid, they have no control. They have no control over anything in our facility. And so we get behaviors because of that. They don't have the ability to rationalize or emotionally regulate. Because again, people, they need the adult, a positive adult pouring into them. And unfortunately, sometimes even with staff members, they're not getting that. So if you can imagine just on a day-to-day basis, they're not being poured into emotionally. This is where we sometimes get our adults who don't have any emotional regulation. And so it definitely stems from childhood. Legit. And if we don't address childhood issues as an adult, like once we recognize, because I feel like at some point we have to take about accountability, right? We can blame our parents to a certain extent, but it's like I seen something on social media that says, you are responsible for your own healing, right? So you can recognize that. And we can maybe figure out that the root was X, Y, and Z, but now you understand, like, hey, I am a little different. I would like to work through this a little bit more. We can, once we get to that place to find help, just ask for help. I mean, there's a lot of platforms out here that we have counselors. And one thing I do feel like a lot of times we're not comfortable finding someone else. We meet a person and we like, we don't mesh well. I don't feel like unpacking with nobody else. But the problem is you have to sit in it. Like you literally have to sit in whatever happened to you at 7, 8, or 9 as you're in your mid-30s trying to figure out why relationships aren't working. Why can't I seem to keep a job? Like it shows up. It shows up. So we have to address it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see separation anxiety. You see, like you said, the anger issues.
Yes.
You see commitment issues. I had another one, and it was a good one too. I guess it wasn't that good because I don't remember what it was.
It'll come back.
But you have all these things, that you have to deal with. And yes, you need to find somebody that you can mesh with. And I know there are websites and apps where you can go and pretty much vet,
right,
the doctor, but you have to be able to, even in your 20s, say, hold on, wait, why do I feel this way?
For sure.
I prayed one day. I said, God, why am I so angry? And it was just like that, a vision of everything that led up to me being so angry. I couldn't even say anything. It was just like,
gotta address it.
Yeah, maybe I should have honed in on that question a little bit. I shouldn't have been so broad. Hey, one at a time. No, it was just like a flood.
Boom. Yeah.
And I said, wow, this is crazy.
And then you gotta unpack all of it.
Individually, one by one.
And it takes time.
It takes time.
Like I think a lot of people think that, like therapy or medications is a quick fix. It's not. If you, let's say you're 31 and you've been, at least going through something at least 25 years, right? You can't unpack that in 1 year. And that's okay to keep having someone. I see a therapist once a month. Like I think I was 25, 26. The very first time I was like, okay, wait, let me go figure out something. And so I was doing it more consistently then, but now I see her once a month. I get excited about our little monthly visits because it's essential to be able to unpack with somebody who's non-biased. Because sometimes, we have family and friends that are always on our side, but I want somebody to be able to call it out, right?
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, let me know.
I don't need a yes man.
No, for sure.
Or woman. I don't need you to just be like, that's right. No. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Call it.
So I slapped somebody the other day. It's okay. Just let it go. Sometimes they need that. No. Maybe they do sometimes. However,
right.
No, that should not have happened.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
There was no self-control there.
There you go.
And self-control is a big thing. And you have to find, everybody knows where their breaking point is.
Yep.
Even if you don't know, you know when you're getting close to it. That breaking point is either rage or you bawl like a baby. However you deal with this, you have to know where your limit is,
right,
and control everything under it so you don't get to that height.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm being a therapist today.
No,
but,
look at you. You got it. Tell the people.
We're not doing this. Do not get in the comments and do what some of y'all be doing. Shamar don't even do it behind the...
Come on, Pastor.
Here he go.
We know what you do. Go ahead, Pastor.
Here he go. Here he go. But, just the mental, everything else, just stop. What's going through your brain? What has been planted in your mind? What have you seen? What have you been through? Me personally, I have to unpack all these different things.
Right.
Sometimes you have to go to that person.
Yeah.
Hey.
And address it.
Hey. Mama, daddy, cousin, uncle, brother, the way y'all raised me, I know y'all did the best y'all could. And whatever. Like even with kids being spoiled, that can still weigh on their mental. Like I tell people, I say, I can tell my kids were never raised in the hood. They don't know how to lock the front door.
Oh, they just leave it open.
Why is my front door unlocked? And I'm like, And you can tell that we've never had to worry. They've never seen a struggle.
Right.
Because they still get what's needed.
For sure.
I have to have conversations with my kids like, hey, I don't make what I used to make. Hey, we about to do this. We about to do that. We're going on trips here and there. And then they would call and ask me, hey, can I get $20 for Roblox? Hold on, time out.
No, wait.
Have you done what your mama told you to do?
Right.
Is your room clean? Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I might give it to you. Then it gets to a point where it's like, wait a minute, hold on. I can't give you nothing for Roblox. I had to have a conversation with my kids, say, hey, daddy can't buy y'all what y'all want for Christmas. But if I was to get you one thing, what would it be? Them kids said a gaming PC. I think I would have spent more money than, I spent more money than just giving them a plethora of things. However, I thought about long-term goal. They still got these gaming PCs. 3 years, 4 years later,
wow,
they still work.
It was worth it, yeah.
It's very educational. Like, some people don't think that video games can teach you something.
Investment.
And it does. It does. Video games can teach you a lot. I'm looking at both cameras. Make sure y'all see and hear me. So, I forgot where I was going with that.
I think we all did.
I think you were trying to relate to like your childhood being different than your current.
Very
children.
different.
Yeah.
Help them out. See?
Latch-key
Good
kids.
job.
See, she paying attention. Latch-key kids.
Brought them on back.
Nobody's home when you get home.
Right.
You have to figure things out. So at my age of 12, 13, 15, I'm not just big brother. I'm the man of the house, and I know going through that phase has really shaped who I am today. So even though some people would look at that and be like, oh, y'all got left at home by yourselves? That's bad. It's like, well, it taught me discipline. It taught me how to cook. I learned how to listen to my mama. I learned how to get around what mama wanted us to do. Don't go outside till I get home. Okay, well, everybody in the house. But as soon as mama show up, out the window. Out the window. Jump the patio. Mama, my bad. It's out now. So I'm not going to say that every bad experience, or what other people are calling a bad experience, is bad. How do you see people shape what they've been through is what I'm getting at,
So there's a term called epigenetics. And
say that one more time.
Epigenetics. So basically, let's say great-great-grandma had some anxiety, right? There's a chance genetically that you may have that gene. However, every gene that we have, we don't necessarily have to express. But typically, our gene expression can come through, like, let's say, a stressful situation. And so, unfortunately, there's a lot of, like, it's environmental. Like, it's a lot that can happen, cause our bodies to go into stress, and then these things kind of appear. Not saying that you, like, if, again, great-great-grandma had anxiety, that you're bound to have it. But being under stress, trauma, this tends to kind of cause these genes to express. And so what has happened, I think, over the years, because granted, we go way back, we can get into slavery and all these things. Of course, like there's a survival mentality there. So there's a lot of things that have had to happen. Brains have had to adapt just based off what we were presented with. So as we move down the line, I feel like today, and like my current clientele, a lot of people who have survived or just surviving have a brain that there's parts of it that they've had to cut off, right? Like there's childhood pieces that I can't talk about. I don't remember. I don't want to remember, because they have to continue to live. They have to continue to pay bills and take care of their families. And the beauty in the brain, not saying it's always the best, but the beauty in having a brain to adapt is that so we don't die, so we don't get so out of, been out of shape where we can't function, right? Like, so its job is to shape whatever we're going through so that you can keep moving, which is why I say when you recognize, like, hey, something legit is off, let me go try to figure out what it is and getting to the root of what it is so that you can help. And in hindsight, I think culturally, we don't like medicine. All right. We don't like medicine. I prescribe medicine, right? So I can honestly say now there's some supplements in place that I kind of like to do and offer before we go straight down that rabbit hole. But I will say that our brains, once we start to adapt, things change. There's chemical imbalances. There's misfirings that are happening. If you were a severely traumatized kid, your brain may not fire like a normal brain, right? So, because you've had to survive, you've had to adapt. And so sometimes meds are okay temporarily with the right provider. Like working with the right person can help you because we're about quality. It's no need to be pulling hair out every single day. We can't get under, you can't understand what's going on. You can't function. You yelling at your kids. You throwing stuff. I feel like in situations like that, when life is debilitating, I use typically in my sessions, debilitation. Do you feel like your anxiety is debilitating? Is it a place where you feel like you can't function well? Then at that point, it's probably time to skip the magnesium and move on to a little Prozac. And it's okay. Let me talk to you about the side effects. Let me talk to you about what to look for. Let me tell you how this can help you. And if you don't like it, let me know. So I think key for our culture in general is just like making sure you ask the right questions, going to the right person that hears you. Because we are so taboo. When I say medicine, you say med, and people are like, I know. I just talk about it. But the problem is I feel like some of us aren't getting like that full life experience because we're carrying so much. Not saying therapy can't help you unpack. But when things are too much to handle, it is okay to shift for a season. You can come off your medicine. People feel like they're like you. It's dependent. Like you'll be dependent on them. There are studies that show that, like especially antidepressants, right? So antidepressants can, like your Zoloft or Prozacs, those are more common. That if you stay on them at least a year, it can prevent rebound. And so my thing is just, like I tell you communicate with me. Let me know. Like if you don't like how you feel, let me know. We'll figure out something different. And so I'm trying to figure out, I'm getting lost in the sauce now. I'm going my little circle, but I'm trying to remember where I started, other than making sure culturally we know about meds and the shift in our brains. That's where I was going.
Yes.
Just to understand that.
She pulled herself back.
I had to pull it back. Because I start going down my little hole. But anyway, I think my main thing to go back to your original question is that our brains do adapt based off what we have going on. And it's okay if you have to lean on someone for medication management to get you through that season, and know that it's not necessarily a lifelong sentence to take medications. Situations are different, right? But yeah, that's where I was going with that. So
I like that. What was the term that you used when you first started that?
Epigenetics.
Yes.
So
that was fascinating to me. And then, especially when you say environmental, right? Sometimes that could trigger it. And I immediately thought about 2020, the pandemic. And I'm thinking about this current administration. That could be very triggering to a lot of people.
For sure.
And then when you talked about meds, and I was like, well, maybe that can assist if you can just do it for a time frame. So you are saying that medication can be used as a season, help you get through, and then, okay, so it's a part of the...
Yeah, it's a part of the healing journey for some, right? Like, so therapy could be great and it can work all by itself. However, again, when we talk about just the brain's adaptability, what you got going on, was there a diagnosis in childhood that never was addressed that now you worried about it? Because it's like, for instance, ADHD, right? It's loud, it's here, everybody talks about it. But what people don't mention is how like ADHD is more than a school age diagnosis. It affects a lot. It deals with emotional regulation, like your kid's ability to go from 0 to 100 really quickly. There's so much unpacked with ADHD, but a lot of people did not get that, like it wasn't addressed at 10. So at 25, when you got somebody speeding down the road, they're very impulsive, like they're just kind of, we have to address what we didn't address 15 years ago. And so I think it's just, this is why I feel like meds, they're not the be all. Like, don't get me wrong. They're there to help. Right. They are not there to take over for you not to go unpack anything. It is legit there to help you, because some people, unfortunately, again, when we talk about chemical imbalances, we have these are chemicals here, neurotransmitters. There's a lot biologically that's happening inside our brains that sometimes need a little leveling out. Now, I also am a big component of just nutritional deficits and understanding that those too cause mental illnesses, right? Yep. That's a whole podcast by itself. But I feel like we as providers have to do better with acknowledging the nutritional deficiencies. We need to be drawing labs first. We need to be seeing, like, is your B12 off? Vitamin D, a lot of melanated people, we are D deficient, okay? If you've been D deficient 5 years ago and you hadn't been taking vitamin D, you probably still D deficient. And so that leads to mood swings, fatigue, achy bones. And so I say all that to say, just making sure biologically you look well too. Before we start jumping to Prozac or Zoloft, that's personally what I do. I want to make sure you look good inside, because if your vitamin D is 12 and it's supposed to be, 45, 50, 60 would be nice, then you're really depleted. And so we got to get you up biologically. But think about our food today. Our food is trash.
Yes.
The soil is trash.
Yes.
Everything, like, so we're not even able, like how our grandparents were able to go out in the field and grab whatever they needed. The vegetables were good. Everything was great to get all their full vitamin. We don't have that source anymore. We got fake chicken out here. Y'all probably been seeing it out there. I mean, it's just so much. What do you trust? Where do you go to get your food? And so your gut and brain are connected. They are connected. So when we put crap here, we get crap out. It goes straight there. And so it's a lot with mental health. Like, it's not just, your childhood wasn't very good. Now we throwing on top of it fake food, and so it's very layered, but I do feel like it's just essential to make sure that when you start to recognize something may be off, that you do seek help. You do find somebody that you mesh well with. And if you feel like you want a little medication, you find somebody that do that too. Despite what your parents or your grandparents or your auntie and uncle feel about medication management. Because, it's cultural. Oh, you on your crazy pills? You know what? If I got to take a pill to make sure that I'm sane for my kids and my job, then that's what I'll have to do. You know what I mean? And again, seasonal, right? Like, if that's something you're like, hey, you know what? It's been a couple years. My last child just got out of high school. I think life can get a little bit easier for me. Let me trial off of them. Work with your provider to get you off them safely. So I do truly believe that a lot of people can come off their meds. Again, every situation is different. We have some chronic, really, really severe mental challenges where people do have to be on meds a little bit longer. But for the most part, as long as you're working with somebody, you should be able to safely come off whatever medication you've been started on.
So I heard you use the word rebound. Can
Yes.
you explain what that is?
So what can happen is, let's say, we'll speak about depression, for instance. A lot of people are depressed in your cooler months. Nobody's outside. So fall, right? Fall, this is where August, September, we start in business, we start to see a shift. Mood is dropping. People are sad. You have they call it seasonal depression, right? We have holidays around. We got people who don't have family that yearn for family. And you start to shift, right? Let's say we start Prozac, and I just keep using that, but we start Prozac, they start to feel better, right? And then the summer comes. Everybody's happy. Like right now, numbers are down. I don't need my medicine. So I even made a TikTok the other day. I was like, y'all, don't be spiraling in August. Stay on your medicine all summer, okay? Don't come on, stay on. Because people feel good. They feel great. And so when I say rebound, it's almost like if the chemicals, like when we're taking these pills and we're needing to balance things out, if the brain isn't quite ready, isn't quite where it needs to be, or let's say you don't make lifestyle changes, right? We still at McDonald's every day. We're not trying to fuel our body. Then your brain may not be ready to just kind of pull off of this. So when we say rebound, you pull off, you start to shift backwards, right? We're still going back into that same funk. Whereas if you've changed lifestyle or you're working out and you're doing all the things and we're hopeful that your brain can kind of pick up where you pull that medicine out and just kind of stabilize itself. So that would be rebound. So studies were showing that if as long as you've been on them a year, the chances are lower. Not saying it can't happen. And I've had some come off in 6 or 7 months, because sometimes when we have situational things going on in our house, our lives, meds don't fix that. They don't fix that. And I had to learn that. That was a hard part of practice that I had to learn, because I remember this one lady, she kept coming and I was like, what am I doing? Like, I was switching out all the stuff. I'm like, let's try this, let's try that. And nothing was working. And finally we sat down and I was like, it's your house. It's what's going on in your house.
It's that.
You gotta fix your situation, because I can't help you. I mean, love for you to keep coming back, but me switching meds, because I'm not a pill meal provider. Like I don't stack meds, and so yeah, I just, it's no need, right? Like I mean, there's 7-8 pills, something's not working. Something not working, but I just was like, I don't know what else to do until you fix your home, your situation. There's nothing else I can do with that. So yeah.
So that pushes to everything isn't always just a mental thing. It goes back to, like you and Shamar said, it's environmental.
Yes.
You have to change your environment.
Yes.
You know, and there are so many ways, so many things that you can think of just from watching TV,
right,
of what can be going on at home that can play on your mental.
Yep.
And I feel in that situation with the environment, that's also connecting itself to your emotional stance too.
Yes.
So not only are you in a space where you have issues, your mind is set on that, and that is a very emotional day-to-day thing.
Right.
Because even if you leave, you know you got to come back. So
yes,
in that space, do you see a lot of people able to, quote unquote, fix home and then come back and say, hey, you know, everything is great? Or is it one of those things that's, you can keep, like you said, you keep coming, but you have to fix that before we can fix this?
I think in this economy, moving out, people can't do. People co-parenting in the same house, can't afford to live on their own. So I personally have not seen a whole lot of change with that specifically. I think, you know, it's helpful to change perspective, right? Like we can talk about how to change perspective. Like, well, hey, maybe shift from saving up for vacation and saving up to get your own spot, right? Like let's shift your perspective, because again, I think there's a lot of barriers to why people can't leave home. Think about our kids, right? What are they gonna do without their parents? If the parent is the toxic trigger, what can they do about these parents? And so that's where I feel like with school affiliation, school like getting adjusted with or having guidance counselors be more involved with our kids, and like mentor groups and just things to encourage our youth who are struggling at home. It's hard for them to fix that. And they're, 15. They got to wait till 18 to get out of the house.
3 more years. And that's hoping that they can leave.
There you go.
Because, and I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, but every kid is not prepped or ready for college.
No.
Some kids are not prepped or ready to just get a job and save and then move into an apartment.
Yeah, some don't. Yeah, they just don't know.
And then some don't have the best friends to try to go anywhere with.
Nope. It's very sad.
And it's an all around thing stemmed from home.
Like you want to try to get away from home, right? And some who maybe the environment is so toxic now, I'm gonna just go sell drugs to get up out of here. Like I just need money, right? Or I'm gonna just go work and stay in a hotel because I don't want to be at home. Like,
or I'm gonna get me a man so I can get up out of here.
How about that too? That too.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Yep.
We'll get me a woman who got a place to stay.
Yep.
Then you creating all these broken homes. Like it's just, it's very cyclic. But if we as parents don't address our issues, we will continue to project them onto our children. And so I think that's where it's just difficult. We have to recognize that mental health as a whole, it go back generations. It's just now I think we're a little more vocal about it. We're okay kind of saying, well, mama, daddy, you did actually, that wasn't right. But I love you. I forgive you. At whatever capacity, I understood you had to do what you had to do. But this was my perspective. And then as a parent, when children come to you, it's just understanding like, hey, that's their perspective. You may feel like you didn't do nothing wrong, but respect the perspective. Like their feelings are very valid. Yeah. We validate them so that way we don't create strain with relationships, because we're human. Everybody's learning, especially with that first kid. You learning how to be a parent.
You don't know much of nothing except for what you saw.
Nothing. So I just, I think it's okay. Like we gotta give grace. We gotta give grace, and I feel like we need to give it, especially raising children. Like this generation coming up under us, they are going to be a whole nother level of sensitive. I'm just saying, like, it's just We got to be a little bit more, and I'm not saying to each his own, right? Like, I'll allow mine to express this. I mean, he's 6, right? So they're teaching them how to regulate their emotions. They're teaching them now in kindergarten, how to recognize what this is. So what do you say when you come home and like, I'm angry? Well, what you supposed to say?
Well, I'm angry too.
Well,
so what? Join the club.
I mean, what do you do? Because back in the day, you ain't say nothing.
Right.
No.
Right.
Put your mouth in and go on about your business. Wash your dish, whatever. Like, you could not say anything.
No.
And that creates us walking around, holding on to a bunch of emotions. We got a lot to say. And we carrying a lot of burdens. So there's a respectful way, right? So you can teach them how to be respectful and how they express themselves. But I do think it's just, these kids coming up, they're going to be a lot louder, a lot more vocal. So
yeah, I already see that, I grew up, like you said, do this, do that,
Do what I
don't
say.
question nothing. And if you feel some type of way, it's always a, what do you call it? Like a finger pointing thing. Like,
you got to answer.
well, this is how I feel. And it's like, well, I don't understand why. Because you ain't the one that's got to pay the bills. You ain't the one this, and I know it's a lot of people that have had to deal with that just, growing up. Some of us had it easier, some of us had it better, but other ones, compared to whatever spectrum we're putting ourselves on, if this is normal, it's very few people that are here. The majority are on that same level of, again, being a latchkey kid.
For sure.
Get home, go in the house, don't burn the house down. And I know with my kids, I allow, say what you got to say. Just don't yell at me.
Right. Be respectful. Yeah.
I have no problem if you're yelling out of frustration, but don't yell at me.
Right. Right.
I grew up getting whooped, and I will whoop my kids. But then I thought about that thing. I'm not wasting no more energy. You about to give me these push-ups and then give me that phone. Because
how about that? Yeah. Yeah.
Because give me that phone, give me that Xbox. You know what?
That hurts.
Do like my mama do. My mama used to leave dating myself. Nintendo 64 was allowed to sit on the dresser beside the TV, all the controllers, everything connected, plugged up, and you can't touch that radio. That's how I do my kids, because that way you can see what your consequences allowed you not to be able to do.
Right. I think too, and I know like the spankings are definitely, it's controversial, right? They today, when I think about, there are some things that have happened to us or before us that today would be considered abuse. Right? So just being mindful of that. So even these kids coming up, they ready to call DSS. You pick a finger, you hit them, they're picking the phone up. So it's just learning how, like, to be able to allow, like, in your household, talking to your children, helping them understand, like you said, you allow them to express themselves. Because I think when we don't communicate with them, it just creates this false narrative of what's going on. And so that creates more issues.
And I have 2 boys, 1 girl and 2 boys.
Wow.
And the older 2 are daddy's kids. My daughter, off to college, daddy's girl. She still calls me like she's in the house, 2-hour conversation, talking about everything and nothing.
So sweet.
I just say there's going to come a day where she may not call me to talk to me about anything except, Dad, Dad, can you help me?
You create a safe space.
Yes. And
that's important.
My oldest son, he tends to shut down. So I have to go in there and I have to sit and I have to use a very low tone. Okay, son, listen. Your daddy knows something wrong. So whatever we got to do to get this figured out, just know I'm here. If you want to take a minute, come get me, that's fine. You want me to come back in 15 minutes, I'll come back.
Right.
But my baby boy, first of all, you're not going to be yelling at me. Second of all, I want you to say what you got to say. But third of all, who you think you're talking to? Now, when you're ready to talk, we can talk.
Oh, right.
But until then,
calm down.
If you don't lower your voice and stop yelling at me, do you want me yelling at you?
But you see how you're intentional about it, though? Think about before, like, our parents and grandparents, and they didn't take the time to sit down and say, hey, come here, come talk, come sit with me.
Right.
So now what are we supposed to do with this? What are we supposed to do with these feelings? And this is, and this is like where people, now we lead into bad habits, right? We coping in other things because we don't have that safe space to talk, that safe place or person to just share and be. So I commend you for even being intentional about that. So maybe somebody out there, just pick up.
I just dropped a couple of gems right there. You see that? Just
y'all take that. Talk to your kids.
Even though they may be a little sensitive, the next generation you were speaking of, but it also sounds like it could reduce those tantrums that kids have. You know, seen them kids in the store falling out and stuff. But now, if they're learning how to communicate and things like that, they can have and if you create the space for them, y'all can have that conversation instead of them showing out. Right. And Lord, I know I heard growing up, you better stop crying before you get something to cry about.
That
what
too.
that mean?
Right. But I'm already crying. Right. What more can you do besides whoop me to make, and take my stuff to make me cry more?
Right.
And
but,
you know,
go ahead.
What you said, you throw a tantrum in the store.
I didn't throw the tantrum.
No. I'm saying, but what you said, but throwing a tantrum in the store, right? Man, my mama said, I'm going to embarrass you where you embarrass me.
Yes,
and I remember it was, I don't know if it was my brother or my sister, but one of them called themselves having an attitude, stomping and halfway falling out. I had to walk away because my mama said, what time it was. And my mama did the same doggone thing. And I was like, oh, no. I'm not with them. And I didn't check my tone one day. And I halfway got loud with my mom in the store. And my mama good for this. She would call my name in the midst of her yelling. Ooh. Thank you, Jackie Mays. She didn't say boy. She didn't say son. Now, Monte, let me explain something to you while we in this store. Monte, and I said, Mama, you ain't got to go there. She said, no, you went there, so I'm going there too. I tell you what, that day, I learned to never raise my voice in public again. Ever again. I'm not even going to call that childhood trauma. That was a very valuable lesson. But funny. I like, cut down on the falling out on the floor. Yeah. When I see kids do that, I be like, let me know when you done.
Well, the boundaries got to be set at home at a younger age.
And that's exactly what I say all the time. He did that, she did that, they did that in public because it's allowed at home. I'm not the type of parent that says, shut up and go to your room. Sit down. Right. We're going to talk about this.
Legit.
Because if you're angry now, let's talk while you're angry. Get this off your chest. So when you do go upstairs, you're not going upstairs and they say the mind is the devil's playground. You are not, I'm not going to open that door intentionally for them to go upstairs. Man, my dad this and my mom that and I can't ever. And like, no. We're going to snip that right now. What's going on? I see it on your face and I hear it in your voice. Nothing. The fact that you heard me tell you, I hear it in your voice. And you went to that tone. And that tone, I know because I listen to my kids. That tone tells me something is wrong. That tone tells me something has bothered you. That look on your face does not say I'm tired and sleepy. It says I'm tired and I'm ready to fight.
Right.
Let's figure this out.
That's intentionality, though. It's
the word of the year.
Intentionality. You got to be intentional. And I know, as parents, we tired too. But I mean, I feel like when you're raising humans, it just takes a little extra. You need that supernatural strength to like keep pushing. Because if not, they gonna fall into some of the patterns that maybe we receive, So it's like, I don't want that. I'm gonna be intentional because, like I said, my son is 6, and I'm gonna try to do things a little differently, and that way, in hopes that he'll turn out to be a wonderful human,
So my son plays football, and I can't play no sports, but I get out there and I do what I can, Right. And I remember talking to somebody who was like, man, I come home and I just be tired. He be wanting to go outside, not my son, but his son. Man, he be wanting to go outside and throw the ball, man, and he be wanting to do this. And I'd be like, man, I'm tired. I say, I want you to know, the more you say that, the more you're creating more wrinkles in his brain of a memory. So when he does make it to the NFL and you come up, it don't matter if you here raising him. It don't matter. The only thing he gonna remember is my dad was too tired to throw the football.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he gonna remember.
Yep.
And my daughter played softball. Let me throw that softball about 5 good times. My shoulder hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Let me throw that football about 5 good times. My shoulder hurt. I ain't very athletic, so I ain't running nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I still made sure that, again, intentionally going out there, throwing that softball with my daughter, roll it on the ground, give her different tactics of, different ways of receiving this ball. The same thing with my son. He's mostly, my son loves to hit people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad he's found a way to really channel his anger, kind of like Waterboy. You think that you have this vision of, you're not going to say that to me, and then he lays these kids out. Thank you. You channeled it.
Right.
But again, I ain't that sports fanatic.
But you show up.
I show up.
You show up.
But he not going to run me over. I tell him that. I don't care what position you play.
Well, that's what and I mean, because I was raised by a single mom. Shout out to her. And so she did the best she could.
Mm-hmm.
She did the best she could. And so I've just learned I just want to do things a little differently. Yeah. Right. And so I think that's why I feel like these spaces are so important for people to just kind of recognize, like, hey, maybe I should look into that, or maybe I should go ask questions about that, and that way it's not, we don't have to continue to carry certain, they call it generational curses. I know there's a whole lot of terms for it, or if you will, but we can break the cycle. Mm-hmm. We can break it. I believe we can break it. We are more aware. We got Google. We got ChatGPT.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? We got ChatGPT.
Right.
We can come up with games to play with our kids now, And so there's so many things but you do have to be intentional. You have to tap into that. I also, too, we don't really talk a lot about this either. It's just making sure your kids get help. A lot of times, like these, teachers saying when your kid just acting up, and you go home and you beat them, right? We don't understand why they acting up. ADHD, again, is one of those things. And not labeling kids. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying sometimes there really is some deficits going on in your child at the schoolhouse that it's hard for them to sit down. Y'all probably know a kid or two that's just hyper.
I work with one.
You know what I mean? Like, they all over the place.
Me?
Yes.
I'm not hyper, am I?
That ADHD is real up in here.
Oh, it's real.
It's real. I know
saying.
With my baby boy, well, all 3 of my kids, but more so my baby boy, he runs through his work and he's just sitting there like,
bored.
What now?
Well, look at the school system. I never thought about it, but I remember people saying we shouldn't be sitting in class for 8 hours.
Absolutely
Kids
not.
are not designed to do that.
Right.
No.
So it's like, just being mindful of like the reports that we get of our kids. If we really do feel like something's different or off, they call them neuropsychological evaluations. It's legit. You go, they are very lengthy, very long. However, its goal is to try to tailor and see like if there's something else going on with your children. There are some kids who have an auditory processing issue where they really they hear you, but they don't hear you. They can't process. You have mild disabilities. You have there's learning disabilities that can get picked up on these exams. But I think culturally sometimes it's just, well, why you was acting up in school?
Right.
You never sit down, and it's like you keep beating them and they go back to school and do the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
same
to that
thing.
point, and my mom, because they, I had behavioral problems, and I don't know if you know, but they were the class or the kids were called BEH. That was the behavioral emotional handicap kids.
Wow.
And so the teacher was trying to tell my mom to send me in there or consider me for those classes. I'm saying nothing wrong with that boy.
Right.
Now that's the first thing they're gonna say, ain't nothing wrong with that boy.
Right.
But what it turned out to be was I wasn't being challenged in those classes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I didn't have to study or anything. I just go in there and take the test, going about my business. So once they put me in classes, advanced classes, okay, now I got to focus and pay attention.
There you
know
go.
what I'm saying? So being intentional and not just as a parent listening to what they say as far as the teacher, because I could have been in that class. Oh Lord, I couldn't imagine.
Being, but I'm just saying, because if we don't ask questions, if we just keep, if we just say, well, you just showing out in class and nobody ever questions why.
Right.
Is the kid hungry?
Right.
Did they eat yesterday?
Right.
Like, it's
Are
so
they getting
much.
rest?
Eat at all.
Are they getting
the
rest at
whole
home?
week?
Think about the summer when they go with no food.
Yes.
They depend on that could be a separate podcast. But I'm just saying in general, it starts in childhood, and we got to address it.
Yes.
We got to stop. If we got to stop just taking these children are bad and not trying to figure out what is going on with these kids.
I don't know how many people have ever had this happen, but we literally had a teacher call the house and say, "Hey, we want to talk to you about your son. This is Jacob, my oldest son." And we're like, "Okay, what's going on?" Has he shown any signs of something to do with paying attention and whatever it was? We were like, "Yeah, he's bored." And she's like, "Well, I figured that because when did they start learning multiplication? In the 3rd grade?"
I feel like, shoot,
it's second.
I think 2nd grade, 1st or 2nd grade.
My son said, "Mr. and Mrs. Teacher, can I get another sheet?"
Oh, he ran through it.
He ran through it. And he's like, "So can I add more numbers to these? Like, I'm done with the single digits and I'm done with the double digits. Can we add on the 3rd?" She's like, I've never had a student ask me that. What am I supposed to do? I said, "Get him what he asked for."
Right.
He's not being challenged and he wants to be challenged.
He need more work.
Yes, give him what he's asked for. So I don't know if I told Shamar yet, but my son has been accepted to the early college and he is going to the 9th grade.
What?
He is going
Shout out to that.
Congrats.
Let's go.
That is so smart. He's so smart. Good. Kudos to him.
He has 2 honor classes. He's like, "Yeah, I already knew I was gonna have those, and I ain't gonna be nothing, Dad."
I love it.
And he's gonna graduate not just with a high school diploma, he'll graduate with an associate's.
Oh,
now
that's amazing.
My daughter, she graduated with a business certificate with her high school diploma.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'm proud of my kids. I think I did a great job.
You did.
You know,
you did all right. I think Chandra did all the work.
Don't tell her that. She gonna take all the credit. That's my wife you talking about. No, ma'am.
She had a hand or two
in it. Maybe go ask your daddy, hands. Go ask your daddy. I don't know nothing about that. You know, but I shout out my kids because, again, I didn't raise them the way the majority of my friends were raised. You know, I gave them this open space, and I'm like, if you're struggling, you got to say something because nobody knows if you can. You know, but to know my kids are doing very well.
That's awesome.
We working on this little boy.
He gonna do well.
We working on the baby
he got
boy.
Examples. He got
he
got role models.
He's just bored.
Yeah.
Very bored.
Be challenged.
He is so bored when the teacher asks somebody else a question. He's, "Oh my God, like how you not know this answer? We just talked about this." And I'm like, so then we get the phone call, "Hey, he's talking out in class and he's being disruptive." And I'm like, "Please explain."
Right.
So when they explain it, I'm like, "You're not challenging him."
Right.
Give him some extra
else.
work.
Consider a different class. Something,
Yeah, so
but there's the advocacy, right?
Yes.
There's your kid's advocate.
Very, very
and we
much
need
so.
all parents to get on board. Because the teacher's stretched thin today too. So they're not as intentional to call and say, "Hey, so-and-so is failing. What is going on at home?" Or, they're not making those calls as much anymore. So we got to be in their business.
They write it in the report.
Oh, like the report card?
That's the word I'm looking for.
Well, I mean, the report card come out whole 9 weeks later. At that point, kids got zeros.
Exactly.
Well, not zeros. They got 40s. They can't have zeros no more.
Oh, and then they changed the grading scale.
Yeah, they made it lower, didn't they?
They stretched it. Remember how when we was in school,
it was 93
a
was
69? Yeah. A 69 was an instant F.
Yeah.
Now it goes all the way to like 40, 50 now.
Oh.
And I'm like, talk about
we lowering the standard.
Lowering the standards. I told my kids, I say,
that don't
I'm
apply
not
to
the
you.
parent to be like, you need to get a B or above. But knowing that y'all grade scale has changed,
you did not see no B's.
I bet not see no C coming up in here. And all 3 of my kids have been on. My daughter was on the A honor roll, I believe, the last 2 years of high school.
Wow.
My oldest son, he got a B and he almost lost it.
Because he was straight A student.
Straight A student. He was like, stupid teacher gave me a B. And I'm like, hold on, whoa. What happened?
Right.
He explained, and I was thinking to myself, yeah, the teacher is stupid. She could have gave
you a little.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she decided to grade the paper late.
Oh.
She want to give you a late grade, and they did it for the whole class because you didn't do your job. I digress.
Shout out to the Harris kids, but yes, hey, they doing great. You did great. All right. Now,
Really
back to the show.
We went left, didn't we?
You see that ADHD just come out?
It's from mental health, though.
It's all, to me, it's all intuitive. Is that the correct word?
I didn't hear what you
said.
said.
Collective. All intuitive.
Yeah. Inclusive.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It meshes very well.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, thank you. You good. So one thing you said at the top of the show I really liked was, a lot of that comes from our childhood. What happens today comes from that. But you said that it's our responsibility to do the healing.
Yes.
We can't control what happened to us. Mm-hmm. We can't control the environment, our parents, or anything like that. But what we can control and what we are responsible for is the healing.
Yes.
So I really want you to lean into that and kind of give that a gem or two to, the people out there listening as far as being on that or starting that healing journey for those that haven't. Because, it's still it's not as taboo as it used to be, but our community still is like, we don't need that. We ain't crazy,
right.
But we do need to heal. So kind of talk about that.
Yeah. So I think, the key is recognizing it, right? Like recognizing maybe you don't feel your best self, right? And you don't know why. Because that's the thing. Some people are like, I just feel off and I don't know why. And again, a lot of sometimes childhood trauma is we push it out. We don't remember nothing before the age of 9 or 10 or whatever the case may be. But ages 0 to 7, I know sometimes literature changes between 6, 7, and 8, but this is where our brain is doing the most development. Mm-hmm. So if we are being traumatized or we're being neglected during this time frame, or we seeing abuse or whatever the case may be, this is what's shaping. So I do believe that everybody gets some type of feeling to know, like, I'm just not my best self, whether that's I don't feel like I'm as far as in my career, or I feel like my relationships always end up being my fault, or maybe you're the one who is constantly the victim, right? So it's never my fault. I think whenever that little piece of like that nudge in you is just kind of like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what to pinpoint. Everything in my life is going okay. Mm-hmm. At that point, that is where I would start my journey. Like we all have some mental health stuff, all of us, because grocery is, asparagus $10. We all struggling with something. We all feel some type of way about something. And so even if you go to a counselor or whoever and just say, you know what, to be honest, I really don't know why I'm here. I just don't feel my best self. I think that's where we just have to start. We just have to start. Now, on the other hand, there are people who do know. The house falling apart, the kids acting up. It's a whole lot of stuff going on. My mom had, my mom bipolar. I'm nervous that I'm bipolar because that's the thing too, where people know like their family members, their mom, dad. So your immediate, they have a diagnosis, like a legitimate diagnosis, and they're concerned that they may be exhibiting the same things. It's all about awareness. You got to be aware of what's going on. Or even if you don't really know what mama has, because I've had patients say that, or clients say that too, like, my mama needs something. I know something's off, right?
Right.
I know she needs some pill, something. She's not taking anything, but, then they go down the timeline about what happened during their childhood. Those clients typically they have a sense of awareness, like something may be off with me, but I want to make sure I don't get there. And so that too is where it's encouraged to go and seek help. And then what I encourage as far as like the therapist standpoint, when you're getting clients who are constantly returning, but there's no improvement, then that's where it's like, well, maybe you might need a little bit more. And that's kind of where a psychiatric provider can come in and maybe give advice as to maybe medications, maybe something we need to look into. Or, like I said before, like drawing labs first, see what's going on. I will say women hormonally can cause, like, our hormones affect our mental health. 100%. And so if they're not balanced, we're not balanced. And so making sure, especially, when we talk about menopause, and I mean, that's there's so many podcasts, little snippets, but that's a whole nother thing. But women's health in general, like, we know, let's say you're fine till you turn 42 and all of a sudden you like, wait, what's happened to me? To me, that's more of an indication of a medical need than it is mental health, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So knowing because you can go to a provider and they throw you on pills without even asking questions. I'm going to ask. I'm like, oh, you say you got anxiety out of nowhere? That don't sound right. We don't just get anxiety out of nowhere.
Yep.
Something's off, right? And so I think it's just essential, so to your point, it's just to be aware if there's something off, to seek help. Multiple platforms, advocate for yourself. We're human. We're human. So if you don't mesh, move on. You can provide a hop. Because if you really want to get to a place, and nobody's ever 100%, in my opinion, healed, if you will. But if you want to get to a place where you can function without having to, you feel like you're carrying a lot, or you just want to live life and be happy, and go find somebody to talk to. That's okay. It's okay to want to heal, and healing is a journey. There's no destination for that.
Yep.
You just get to a place where you can maybe shine a light on not your specific trauma, but maybe you can give advice about what happened to you without it breaking you down. Or maybe now you're like, oh, I do remember this happening. You know how they say the saying, we sweep stuff up under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to pull the rug back, dust, get it out. It may still be a little dusty, but the big balls of lint are out, and you can have a conversation about it. And it's not over you. It's just, you're not carrying it. It's not weighing you down, right? It's something that you cannot, baggage. You can put it down. It happened. It shaped who you are, and so I just think it's just essential to be aware and to seek out the right type of help. Ask the right questions, move on to the next person if it doesn't work, and don't be afraid to try meds or see somebody who administers medications or prescribes medications if you feel like your life really needs that push, because some people need more than just talk therapy.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
And mental health is just as important as oral care, going to the dentist, is just as important as medical. Yeah. Okay.
All the things. Yes.
A plethora, the whole list. A plethora.
Come on,
I know that one.
word.
I know that one.
Like I said, these spaces are great because it brings exposure.
Yes.
Right? People don't know that they have to go to the dentist. Or should go to the dentist twice a year.
Yep.
People don't know they need annual exams every year. You need them. You need your heart and lungs checked. They don't know. They don't know you need blood work. They just go, Uncle So-so dropped from a heart attack, and he was fine. But we don't know. We got to get a heart check.
Yep.
I have to go once a year. Ain't no because since birth I've had sickle cell anemia, so I have to go. And if there's a flare up, I'm calling my doctor. I cannot remember what that fancy title name is.
Hematologist?
That one.
There
I have to either call her.
That's that nurse practitioner.
Yes.
There. She knew where you was going. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yes. I either have to call her, but if it's call her office, or if I can't, when I walk into the ER, I say, it's a sickle cell crisis. Just give me a room.
Yeah.
When you give me this room, go ahead and give me the morphine. And then give me whatever that fancy word is for Tylenol. Give me about 4 hours minimum.
And you be all right.
And then come back and check on me. Okay, sir, so what's the problem? I don't think you heard me. Give me a room.
Right.
It's sickle cell. I'm not going anywhere. My wife will take as much pain as I be in during these crises, I will still go take a shower. And I will go and put on some comfortable clothes, and I will walk in the hospital, and I will bring my slides. I will bring my phone charger. I will bring my earbuds. I will bring whatever it is I need to, because I know your boy not going nowhere.
But that's why it's important to get checked.
Yes.
Now think about people with underlying diseases that they don't know about, and they never pick up. I know somebody know an uncle or aunt that has dropped dead, right? They just had a heart attack out of nowhere, and they were healthy. I hear that all the time in our communities, and wasn't nothing wrong with them, right? No, there was something going on that was just not picked up on. And I know there's a lot of trauma behind why we may not see certain providers, and I know there's a lot of trauma, but find the one that you're willing to see, because it's important that somebody listening to your neck, heart, and lungs. That's essential. At least once a year. At least.
Because chronic migraines, they're not just regular headaches.
No.
Sometimes that headache ain't just a headache.
No.
That chest
Shoulder
is hurting.
pain?
It's for a reason. There's
Legit.
something there. You know, go to the hospital. I mean, go to the ER.
Yep.
Go to urgent care.
Urgent care. Mm-hmm.
Because I know sometimes these doctor visits, they get, oh, well, we don't have an opening for 2 weeks. If you feeling that bad or you feel it might be that
Some
bad,
emergency care.
right.
Yeah.
Go somewhere where you can get seen that day.
Mm-hmm. And find a provider that's going to listen. I know we getting these 2 minute visits these days, but y'all, it's people out there who actually do listen.
Yeah. I hate waiting sit in a wait room for 20 minutes and then my visit is 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. That's all.
And it's like, and then
you good.
Yeah. There's nothing
You don't
wrong.
even have time to ask questions. Our healthcare has been corporatized.
Very.
Mm-hmm. And it sucks. So that's why I branched out on my own because I was like, yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't do that. So, yeah.
So, Jamal, where we at in this episode?
Tay really like you because he just talking.
Listen,
He done
when I'm
forgot the
comfortable, I'm
format.
comfortable.
He done forgot where we was.
And it happens.
So
it happens.
We've gotten her to drop the, that seed, if you will, because I wanted her to tell the people, why it's important to go on their healing journey.
Yes.
So, you can go ahead and close on out, Tay, after you finish your water.
Yeah, because I done sat over here and talked a lot today.
You sure did.
I'm
and them
thirsty.
kids don't even watch this show.
Right.
But go to minute 7 and find
Right.
Just pick up right there. Everything else, you good. So it sounds like your support system is great.
Yes.
Sounds like you have a lot of people on board. You mentioned that. So we can check that off the list. So
Oh my gosh.
the seed. What would you want to? I think you've already answered this question to
I literally just said that.
What seed would you plan for other people? Go get checked out.
Go get checked. Preventative health care is key.
Yes.
And then on the other end, if you're a provider and you're realizing like there's an area, a niche that needs to be focused on, then that might be your calling. Because a lot of people, we need a lot more people who are vocal about what's going on in our communities and willing to serve the underserved because we don't have a lot of people. I think they said that there was 3% Black psychiatrists, 3%. And I'm not even a psychiatrist. I'm an NP, so I don't even know what that number looks like. But it's, we need help. We need help out here. And not the people that are willing to step outside of the corporate world to take care of our people. Yeah.
So, one, let the people know where they can find you in your practice.
Yes. So I do have an office in South Park. I offer telemedicine as well. As far as social media, I am Your Friendly NP on TikTok, Growing Gracefully _ on Instagram and Facebook. My practice is called Growing Gracefully Counseling and Consulting. And so I do offer medication management, talk therapy. And yeah, I just love my people. It's an integrative approach. Like I talked about a little bit earlier, I do like to make sure that my clients are biologically well. Magnesium, vitamin D's, I'll offer that before we jump ship to other things. But I'm willing to jump ship because sometimes it's necessary. So yeah, that's what you. Oh, and my website, ggcounseling.com or info. ggcounseling.info.
GG, just the letter G.
GG, yeah, ggcounseling.info.
Got it.
I said .com, but it's out there. I'm out there. You can Google me.
Yeah, it'll be
Google me, baby.
down here.
I'm out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the space where we open the floor
Okay.
for you to ask a question, make a statement, for either of us.
Either.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. You here?
Okay. Well, I do appreciate you guys for having this space. I think it's great what you guys are doing. Continue to do it, especially to reach those who may not catch this any other place, And so I appreciate that. But what made you guys start this? That's my question.
Love that question.
This as in the
Creative
podcast?
Roots.
Yeah. I got it. That's my question.
Space, you said a year.
Yes.
What brought you here and why?
Absolutely. So, Started, been in this studio space for 3 years as of 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And the podcasting portion of it just came out because of the demand of the market. They wanted more podcasting. So we created Charlotte Podcast Studio. I would like to thank us. And in that, I'm like, Tay, it's just like I wouldn't go to a barber if the barber hair is messed up. I wouldn't go to the dentist with a jacked up teeth. So I'm like, Tay, how is anybody gonna know we know how to shoot podcasts unless we have our own podcast? And so we started off with one. We got bored with that. We were teaching people how to, grow, build start their podcast, grow it and stuff. And there's only so many topics we could talk about on that. And so Tay birthed Creative Roots.
Look at
and you can take over, brother.
Tell me
and that's what happened.
And that's what happened. Oh, yeah.
There's
Good
more
job.
to that.
Good job for the short answer.
Oh, okay.
No,
that's not it.
Oh, it's a long but short story. I just like to talk to people.
Okay.
And I like to know where people come from, because when we see people on TV, they're already there.
Right.
And the question is, so how did they get there? And knowing that there are a lot of creatives just in Charlotte and surrounding cities,
right?
I want to talk to y'all.
Appreciate it.
Like I said, with the month of May, a lot of the guests have mentioned mental health, childhood trauma, adult trauma. And, that's when I brought on Natasha. And I'm like, hey, there's a lot of guests that are dealing with this. I want to record an episode, with you. And, knowing what the month of May is, here we are, this whole month is going to be stacked. But just knowing that we all sit, and I'm saying all, but me personally, so how did you become a therapist? How did you become a rapper? How did you become a photographer, videographer, a filmmaker, an author? Author, not Arthur. Author. How did you... And Tay don't edit nothing. It's just the question, how did you get here? What did you go through?
Inspiring stories.
Because there could be somebody that's like, I want to be a photographer. Well, listen to what these people went through.
Right.
And to me, it's all inclusive. We basically go through the same thing. We both, to an extent, we feel the same way. But I want to know the story.
Well, we appreciate the space.
Thank you.
Because people like me don't like social media or
Me neither.
setting this up. And I don't mind sitting, but to have computers and mics, no. But I know people need to hear it, right? So I do fight and get on social media and record. And it's like, oh, we appreciate it. I'm like, y'all don't know how much energy it took for me to get in front of this camera.
or the amount of energy it takes to set it up.
Well, yeah, I'm sure this is a lot. It's very fancy in here, guys.
Oh yeah,
thank you.
You know, when you came in, I was breathing heavy because we just wrapped up a photo shoot, so we had to completely change everything.
It shows your adaptability. Y'all got it.
Yeah,
resilience. Love it.
Charlotte Podcast Studio, aka your favorite cousin's house. We here.
Thank you.
I would like to thank us. So that's it for this episode.
All right.
We done.
Thank y'all. Okay.
Right. Appreciate y'all coming in. Shout out to Charlotte Podcast Studio. Shout out to Alamo Studio. Shout out to Art Boston Tay. Shout out to you and them Harris kids. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.